class, and welcome to Chapter 5, Lesson 1, Integers and Graphing. So here we've got this. This chart shows how much money each person had left after buying clothes. They either have money or they owe money. So we've got these 4 people here. We've got Berto, Elijah, Jenna, and Myron. And they bought some clothes. And some of them still have some money and some of them don't. So I want you to think about it. What number means you owe $8 and what number means you have $5? Dolan, what number means you owe $10 or $8? What do you think? What number means you owe $8?
Negative 10.
Well, yes, because I did say 10. Negative 8. Yes, that means you owe $8. Yes, negative 8. How did you know it was negative 8?
Because
you saw that if you don't have money, you're in the negative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got. There's Myron right there. He's not so good at buying clothes. Abner, then what number means you have $5?
I'm pretty sure it's the top side.
Yeah, it's the top side. So just 5. If you have $5, you just have positive 5. Excellent. So there's Berto. Berto is smart with his money, and he's the one that has the most left over. All whole numbers, positive and negative, and 0 are integers. You've heard me use that word before. When we did mixed numbers, I'd say the big number, the integer. I'd say something like that. All of the whole numbers, positive, negative, and 0, are integers. However, fractions, decimals, mixed numbers, they are not integers on their own. Just whole numbers. So if I had the 2 and 1/2, it's just the 2 that would be an integer. Those are integers. Ella just asked me, what are integers again? Here's an example. 5, negative 8, 0, 2,000. All of these that are whole numbers are integers. Any sort of whole number. Also, we have things called opposite numbers. Opposite numbers are pretty easy. Marley, what's the opposite number to 2?
1.
Perfect, Marley. Negative 2. Lucas, what's going to be the opposite number to negative 5?
5.
5. Excellent. Opposite numbers. So we're going to go over what opposite numbers are. Opposite numbers just mean they have the same amount of bunny hops to get to 0. Let's look. 1, 2 bunny hops to get to 0. 1, 2 bunny hops to get to 0. So opposite numbers are the same number either with or without a negative. Those are opposite numbers. It would take 2,000 bunny hops to get to 0. I want you to determine if the integer is negative, in which case you'll use the go slower, or positive, in which case you'll use the go faster. So, for A, a 10-yard loss. What do we vote? Do we think that this is going to be a positive integer or a negative integer? So take your votes. So Jackson says that a 10-yard loss is a negative integer. Why is it a negative integer? Because you're correct.
I think it's a negative because if you get a 10-yard loss,
You're losing, which is negative.
you go backwards.
Yeah, we went backwards in football. They lost 10 yards. They had some and then they had to go back. They took 10 away. Let's take a vote on the next one. 4 inches of rain above normal. Do we think this is positive or negative? Ella, what do you think?
I think it's going to be positive because when it says the keywords above, so that means it's like above.
Yes, great. She's correct. And even Lila wrote that in the chat where she says, is the word above a clue that it's positive? Yes, that's the key word. If you're above something, it's positive, right? What about the last one? So the last one, a $48 deposit in the bank. A $48 deposit in the bank. Lucas, what does a deposit mean? Don't tell me the answer yet, but what does a deposit mean?
A deposit means putting in or adding.
Yeah, putting in money. A deposit means that you're putting in money. A withdrawal means that you're taking out money. So that should help you guys. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's positive or negative? Go.
Negative.
Ooh, who said negative?
Me.
Me is not an answer. Who said positive?
Sophia. I said positive.
It is positive, Lucas. It's positive. I am putting money in the bank. I am putting money inside the bank, which means that I am adding money to my collection. I'm adding money. You're probably thinking right now, oh, but you're getting rid of that money from your pocket, but it still exists. I'm adding it to the bank. It's a positive amount of money. So let's see. What is the integer? A gain of $2 and 10 degrees below 0. So in the chat, I want you to write the number of what the integer for a gain of a $2 share would be. A share is technically a stock, but I want you to write the integer for just this first one. I love how a lot of you guys wrote it in the chat. I see that Amelia wrote +2. You know, we see positive $2. Lucas wrote 2. Ella wrote $2 plus. We have this positive because it's a gain, $2 positive. Yes, it is just 2. I have $2, right? So based on that, Ella, what do you think 10 degrees below 0 would be?
Negative 10.
Yes, she says that the key was that it's below 0. Exactly. So it's negative 10. And I see all of that in the chat too. I see Amelia wrote negative 10. I see Pearson. I see Marley, Lucas. We have all of that. Jackson says negative because it's 0 below, it's below 0. So this is positive and negative numbers. And we use context clues to figure these out. Here are number lines. So you'll see graphs like this in the future. You're going to see graphs like this. There are 4 different quadrants in a graph that we're going to see. If you're climbing a ladder, you're going up a ladder. And if you're going up, that's positive. So when you're on the top side, when you're here, you're going up. This spot right here is 0, 0. And we'll go over that more later. But it's the origin. Origin means where everything starts. Again, when you're reading in English, you read from left to right. So you're gaining knowledge when we read to the right in English. We're gaining knowledge how we read to the right in English. On the other side, if you're going down the ladder, you're going negative, you're going down the ladder. And if we're reading in English and we're trying to read from right to left, it's just going to be so confusing that we are not even going to be able to read. We're going to be gaining negative knowledge. So graphs are organized into 4 quadrants. Quadrant means 4, right? We see that word quad and it means 4. In Spanish, you hear the word cuatro. It means 4. I'm not sure what else, but it means 4. However, the quadrants are a bit silly and it goes counterclockwise. It goes counterclockwise. You want to know why it goes counterclockwise? Pre-calculus / calculus. So just accept it because we're not going through the whole process. Now, in each of these, this is what's called an ordered pair. And ordered pairs are going to be X, Y. And again, these are things that we're going to get into much later. This is just an introductory lesson. This is just our introductory lesson. So I want you to have this as well. So I want to ask you, here is something on a number line. This is called a number line, which all of you should know that. You've seen number lines, right? Thumbs up. We've seen number lines. We've heard that phrase. I graphed these points on a number line. I want you to tell me what color they are. So I want you to take a guess. Is this set right here? And we write sets in these weird little things that look like this. They're technically parentheses, but that's how we write them to denote that it's a set. What color do we think it is? So write it in the chat and then I'll have someone answer. The set of numbers is -4, 2, and -1. Is that set of numbers all red or all yellow? It's the red set. It's the red set. We know this because our first number is -4. So on my graph, it should be -4. Does it match with +4? I wrote -4. No, it's not +4. That's the opposite number. My next one is +2. There's +2 on my number line. This one is the opposite. Then my last one is going to be, as I'm changing the color wrong, -1. -1 on the graph, again, is right here. This one is the opposite. So they're all the red values. This is just me showing you how we graph things. If I had other stuff on my graph, for example, I want to ask Ruby, what number did I just plot? What number did I just do?
-3.
Yeah, -3, -3. Excellent. I want to ask Cynthia, what number did I just plot? Perfect, 0. Vahe, what number did I just put? Perfect, it's 2. Exactly. So that's all that it takes. We see our negative numbers and our positive. And just like I showed you earlier, going to the right, we're gaining knowledge, just like what we read. So it's positive. And in the exact opposite, going this way, we lose our knowledge. We're going negative. Again, it takes the same amount of bunny hops. That's what the distance is. 1, 2 bunny hops going there. 1, 2 bunny hops going there. What color, then, is the set of 0, 2, -3? So is it the green set or is it the blue set? So, Lucas, what color did you get?
I got the blue.
Yes, the blue set. And if some of you wrote that it is blue and green for 0, but I'm specifically talking about what works for all of them. Why did you get that, Lucas?
I got blue for all of them because 0 has both blue and green, but if you look at the other numbers that you put on the chart and on the number line, 2 is also blue, and -3 is also blue.
Exactly. So we decided to go with the blue set. Lucas, what's the number opposite to 0? It's just 0. There's no such thing as -0. Here's also a fun fact. Graphs do not always need a 0, and graphs can skip count. So this first graph, I started at -26, and then I just went normal 1, 1, 1. Each of them is spaced by 1. It just doesn't need a 0. I wanted to fit up to -34. This one I skip counted. I have a 0, but then each one is by 5. If you skip count, though, you have to skip count by the same amount in each of them. If you skip count, each of them must be the same. Romina, what number means a 15-yard gain? 15. She's telling me she's not really sure. Probably because this is so easy. Am I correct? Like, you're looking at this and you're like, it has to be more complicated than this. Eduardo, what about a loss of 2 hours? What number would that be? It's close. It's not +2, though. It's
-2.
-2. And we know it's -2 because we lost 2 hours. We see these key words. Graph each set of integers. I'm just going to put a 0 right here, and I'm going to put a 0 right there. Remember, thumbs up or thumbs down. Do all graphs need to have a 0? Thumbs up or thumbs down? No, they don't need to have a 0. Do graphs always need to have a 0 in the center if they have a 0? No, they don't need to have it in the center. We can put it wherever we want. What number will go on these sides? So on our number line, as we've seen before, typically we've only seen positive numbers on our number line. But I want to know, Sophia, what number comes after 0? So the next number. What number?
1.
1. I know. You guys are like, this is too easy for some of them. Kylie, what number comes after 1?
2.
2. We're super easy. Now here's the harder part. Jackson, what number comes before 0? Take a guess.
-1.
Yes, -1. Based on that, I want to call on Amelia. What number comes before -1?
This one's so hard, I cannot figure it out. Yeah, bro, it's so hard. 2?
-2. Excellent. -2. And on this side, we also have the same thing. -1, -2. I only have enough room for 1 on this one. So if we graphed them, where am I going to put my dot? I can't even ask you because it doesn't work. I'm going to put it there. That's -2. It tells me, put it at -2. So I put it at -2. Here is my set. So I'm going to put 1 spot here at -1, 1 spot at 1, and 1 spot at 0. Congrats! You guys just did the graphing. You guys just did it. Here's this data set, and it shows the number of points that our lovely Delaney has scored on each hand of a card game. So I'm going to skip count for this one, right? Do I have enough to make 20 different lines? Psh, no. Delaney, what do you want to skip count by? Yeah, 5 is a great number to skip by. So I'm going to put just a 0 right here, and I'm going to do a -5, -10, -15. If your graph looks different, that's okay. I'm going to put as long as you're skip counting correctly, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I just do my graph like that because I can't fit all the numbers. You don't have to do that up and down style. Then I'm going to graph them. Delaney, is this one right here in the right spot, that first red dot? Does that match a number in our set?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, right here it matches. -15. Kayla, does this number, -10, does that match any number in our set?
It does.
Yeah, no, it does not match, so I'm going to get rid of it. What about -5? Let's see, for -5 on the graph, is that on the graph then, Sophie? Is -5 in our set right here? No, it's not, so I'm not going to graph that one. What about 0? Let's see, Ben, is 0 in that set?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right here. There we got 0. So I'll keep it. I want to see. Lucia, is 5 in the set that we have?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right here. Let's see. I don't want to do all of these. So what's the next number in my set then, Caitlin? Jackson, what's the last number in my set?
20.
20. I'm just going to put there. Ta-da! We graphed. That's it. That's all that it takes. If we had homework on this, it would be 1 through 8.